Hello, and welcome to Your Aunties Could Never, a podcast for cool aunties and uncles everywhere. I'm Aunty KK? I'm Aunty AK, and I'm here with
Aunty Nana,
Aunty Sade.
And apologies from Aunty Farah, who couldn't be here. Little Aunty Farah is not well, so sending love to Bumps. How are you, my aunties? It's been ages.
It has been a while.
Yeah.
Because we did it was me and you last time.
Yeah. And then we haven't been in the studio all together for a little while anyway.
Yeah.
So, yes, it's been a while.
How are you?
Tired, you know.
Good.
It's the busy season and it's kicking.
I'm tired. Same.
I'm okay now. I was ill. And now I'm a lot better than I was because I think I was just a bit run down and it was a bit shitty. But I'm feeling a lot better, actually.
Good.
So I'm all good.
Good. So we don't have a game this time. But is there a game that we can make up on the spot? I Spy.
Oh, God.
I Spies.
I
Really?
Spy with My Little Eye, something beginning with P.
Yeah.
I Spy with My Little Eye, something beginning with P.
P.
Plant?
Is that
No. Actually,
Pen?
C.
Oh, come on.
No, you can't do
No.
that.
Well, I can because I got the letter wrong.
What?
How is P and the C? They're not even close.
What's wrong? You don't know who you
Clock.
are.
What?
You don't know who you called yourself KK.
Yeah, it's true.
She said what? Like she didn't just do that 5 minutes ago.
C.
Clock.
C.
No.
Chair.
Cloth.
No.
Coat.
Where's the cloth?
In our packages.
No.
Okay, chair.
But can I see that cloth?
She said chair.
No. And I said no.
Coat.
And no.
C.
I've got a big cocoa on my lip.
Cocoa.
No, but that would have been good. Okay, do you give up?
No, not really.
Oh.
Cushions.
Yay! You're the winner. You go.
Oh my god. Okay, I Spy with My Little Eye, something beginning with
Jesus Christ.
P.
Pillow. It's fine.
No.
Plant. Is that what you got wrong?
You're so stupid. No, it's not plant either.
Pen.
No. Are you going to guess, AK?
God, I can't see anything with P. Produce.
No.
Person.
No, it's not person.
Plug.
Point of view. You can see my
No,
point
it's
of
not
view.
point of view.
Plug.
It's not plug. That's actually a good one, but no.
What, my point of view?
No, plug.
What are you it? I don't know. No,
Go on.
Give up.
Yeah.
Poster!
Where?
There, posters.
Okay.
Okay. So it's your go, even though you didn't win.
I don't care to play.
Player.
Why?
Because it's I Spy. Let's go.
Oh, that was the best.
Okay, I Spy with My Little Eye, something beginning with D.
D.
D. What? D.
D.
Yeah, D.
Door.
No.
D's nuts. So,
First of all, you
There's
don't
no-
have them, and then
Nobody has nuts.
no one's seeing
I
them.
just
either.
wanted to say it,
So,
okay?
okay.
I can't play I Spy. I can't see anything.
No, but you was playing so well.
I know, wasn't I?
D.
Drone. No. There's
where's
no
the drone
Doesn't
in
matter. I'm
it?
just going to go through
Literally,
words
it's
beginning with
a
D.
door.
And dust bunny.
A dust bunny? Sorry?
Dust bunnies. But then
What's
there
dust
aren't.
bunny?
They're like those dust. And they call them dust bunnies. I don't know why they're called dust bunnies, but balls of dust. But there aren't any in here. I just wanted to say dust bunny.
Oh, why are they? Oh, because the tail's like a fluffy tail.
I guess that's right.
Okay.
Dim lighting.
No.
Dim lighting. Okay, give up.
Yeah, I have no clue.
Diffuser.
I've been looking at that so many times.
Oh,
That's well done.
Literally had
that was
not
actually
noticed it.
really good.
Yeah.
You did
Thanks.
really well.
Yeah.
Guys, well done for
Go
playing
on.
the game. I Spy, sponsored by Aunties Could Never.
You know.
All right.
Who are you welcoming
I'm
to the family, Auntie
insulted.
Sade?
Okay.
What? But you did so well, though.
Huh?
That was a good one.
Yeah, there's a surprise that I would have a good suggestion is insulting to me. But anyway, who I'm welcome to the family is Kelly Rowlands, Miss Rowlands. Obviously, I'm a Destiny's Child fan. I'm a Beyonce fan. You know, and Kelly Rowland, as she's such a classy lady, and I really just love that about her. I would love her to be a little bit ratchet every now and again, because she was within her right when she went on Hot 97 and she was interviewed by Peter Rosenberg, who had the audacity to compare her to Beyonce in her interview that she was having with I can never say her name, Marseille Martin. Yeah, so they were interviewing about something completely different, and Rosenberg just thought, let me just hit Kelly with this nonsense in this moment, and compared her to Beyonce, and basically implied that, you know, she's such a good sport for not sitting on her laurels and just letting Beyonce shine, and just really kind of trying to diminish Kelly's contribution to music in general. It was just awful. And she just put him in his place so eloquently, and basically just said that people who try and compare her are basically projecting their own fears about their own light being dim in the presence of others. And I just thought it was just so, she just done it so well, and I just want to give her a moment, because Kelly is amazing, and she just deserves her flowers, and then she deserves some more, and then she deserves some more again, you know? So welcome, Kelly, to the family. We love you. Can't wait for the tour when it comes, because I know it's coming very soon.
We'll be on it. That was a wicked one. Yes, welcome Auntie Kelly Rowland. So guys, when you're listening or watching the show, don't forget to leave your wonderful comments on all our platforms that you can find us. Celebrate us, because we celebrate you. And also we have a Patreon. What are our tiers, Auntie Nana?
They are £5, £10 and £25.
For that, you get more aunties, more love, more light, more laughter, more joy. So sign up to our Patreon immediately. Now it's time to get into our news and culture section of What Have We Heard. We get into what's going on in the... Well, we go into and dissect and chat about what's happened in the world's news and culture world of the past week. I am going to go first. Elon Musk. Boy. This billionaire has come to cause destruction to the social media world. Or not. I don't know. I think that's my question. Do you think he's going to mess up Twitter or not? Because he... made a big boasty claim earlier in the year that he's going to buy Twitter. Then he tried to change his mind, but he was bound by contracted law or whatever to continue and follow through on the buy. So he had to follow through on the buy. And he's just caused so much nonsense. He's fired people. He's demanded over, unsociable hours working, demanded everyone who's working remotely to come back into the office. He's implementing all these new things that people like. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's breaking Twitter. He's also reinstated two very controversial people. Auntie Nana's favourite uncle Donald Trump.
He's not been reinstated
No, he
yet.
hasn't, not yet.
I thought I saw this morning that he's back on Twitter. He's back on Twitter. He is.
Today?
He is back on Twitter.
Oh,
I've seen his account, and there's a welcome back.
Was that
He's back on Twitter.
They were still discussing.
He's back on Twitter. Donald Trump is back on Twitter, and Andrew Tate, the Red Pill King, alongside Kevin Samuels, is back on Twitter as well. So I know, because I was going to say something. And I just got stuck in my brain. Anyway, my whole thing is: do you think Elon Musk is ready and can run Twitter, or is he going to kill it? I'm particularly distressed because I love Twitter. I use it as my news resource. What do you think, guys?
I think that he, what's the word? I think he is killing it. But I think it might be by design, unfortunately. I think it might be by design that he's killing Twitter. I just think it's just awful if he was employee of Twitter at the moment, it must be absolutely awful that the thing that most employees of these companies are generally fans kind of thing, and they like what they're doing and they like what they're contributing to the world, and they know the importance of it and that sort of thing. And like to have someone just because they have money come in and literally just try and destroy it and disrupt it because it's their new plaything is just absolutely awful. Like I think he's just really damaging. Like he tried to implement this thing where you could buy your verification, and it was just a classic example of like, you don't know what you're talking about. You think you know the answer because you're a user and a fan, but actually you think these things haven't been thought through already. You think there's not a process of like why they do the things that they do in the first place, and like instead of like maybe soft launching something and seeing been testing it out in a particular market and seeing if it works. You just gone in for the kill because you can, because you have the power and the money to do so. I just think it's just a sign of how dangerous that some of these billionaires are, that they can actually, because essentially if they gut this company, which is what they're trying to do, they've kind of effectively sacked half of their workforce because they put in like these demands, and whoever didn't agree to those demands, they were gone. They were gone. They've closed the offices. People don't have access to the offices until the Monday, I think this coming Monday, as well. So like I couldn't imagine what that would feel like, how unstable that would feel like, that your CEO is telling you you're fired via Twitter. That's insane. Like, it's absolutely insane. I hope they, band together. I hope they see the hell out of him. I hope he loses so much money on this, that it's unreal. I don't know. I doubt he will. This is his plaything. Do you know what I mean? And it's just a reflection of the state of affairs that we're in, and people thinking this guy's a savior when actually he's closer to an antichrist.
I feel like this is a bit of spin. So on one hand, I feel like this is all contrived because he's paid 3 times as much as what Twitter was worth for this. So he needs everything to go up, like people to be talking about Twitter in this way, like just so much traction. And every so often he tweets another record day on Twitter because there's so many people going to Twitter who weren't going on there to see the demise of Twitter. I don't think it's going to end, but I also don't think he's a genius like how people were saying before. I think he showed himself to really just be a marketing whiz in a sense, but he's not a genius. He isn't a great businessman in any way, shape or form. And if 70% of the workforce do leave, that's one thing. But if they do leave and it carries on, that does mean like what he was saying is also kind of true, that it was overstaffed and they were just wasting money. So I'm interested to see where it goes. I don't have a firm set opinion on this yet because I see it as a game that's being played, and I'm more observing actually what's this new game that these billionaires are playing with, more than I have a set thought pattern on this. I'm more observing. I'm not sure. It goes back and forth for me, but it is like there's one thing for sure: people are talking about Twitter and people are on there tweeting more. So who knows? And the controversial people that have been added, let's see.
Yeah, I think I'm looking into seeing, because I mean there have been quite a few tweets since this all happened, when Twitter's going to shut down literally tomorrow. Like the lights are going to go off and you're going to go to Twitter and it's going to be broken link, and that hasn't happened. It's still going. People are still talking, and you're right. Everyone's running to Twitter to find out what's going on. I'm as long as my news feeds come up and my hashtags that I'm following come up and I get my information, I'm good. It is distressing about the workers who've lost their jobs. That's not nice. And even if there is overspill of employees, that's not the way to do it. Like, who are you to come in and just cull everybody just like that, as if say they've done something wrong to you? Come and talk, do it properly. Whatever that is, do it properly. Have some decency. And apparently they've shut down Twitter Africa, which the headquarters were in Ghana. I need to look into it. It was a conversation.
I don't know if it actually has been
shut down, because to be fair, it was a conversation I had, and I hadn't had a chance to look into it. So I wanted to know if you guys
because things
heard.
are still active,
Okay.
so I don't know if that's been verified.
Okay, so that was what I'd heard, to expand on the rumor that I've heard was that the employees of the African Twitter headquarters weren't given the same severance or the same kind of due diligence as the Western workers,
and the ones that had,
as you can imagine how it would be. You know, what's the word? The unbalance would be. You can imagine how it would be for African employees versus those in America. Yeah. So if that be the case, then I'll be. You know, that's not nice to say it the least. But yeah, I don't know what Elon Musk is doing. Definitely billionaire's playground. This might be a spoiler for those who watched The Good Fight, but there's an episode in the latest series, which might be the last season, where there's one of the characters who runs a a platform like Google called Chumhum, and he's one of the episodes deals with the fact that he's like, I want to buy the DNC, the Democratic Party, because it's failing. Goes, unlike other billionaires who are going into space and buying Twitter, I want to change the world for good. And it's interesting that you've got this. I mean, Good Fight always does very well on social commentary and political commentary. Watch the series; it's a good series. But just that conversation, I was like, it's very interesting that these billionaires can save the world and change things, but they can use these tools to just change the conversation, dictate the conversation, allowing Trump and Tate back on. Where we have the conversation about freedom of speech, I do understand that, but also it's like, what rhetoric? Who is Elon? Who does he align with? What are his political thoughts? Because if he controls this portal of information and then starts steering it to a certain left, right, or he's got whether or not he's verified his right wing background and things like that. He's had the problems with the apartheid correlations with his history.
Definitely his family did make money.
Exactly. So all these things, where is it going for him to be owning something like Twitter? There's just so much in this.
He's to be fair, if you're going to look at it through that lens, he's no different than, what the Murdochs are.
Yeah, no, exactly. No, exactly.
Families that own these platforms, do you know what I mean? And where we receive our news at the end of the day. But I think it's just another one bites the dust almost, do you know what I mean? That actually is about looking at, okay, who are the investors this time? How are they benefiting from them? Like, what is it that they what agenda is it that they want to push?
That part.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Because it's like, there was one stat that the word, like the N-word, had gone up like, what was it, like 1,000% or something like that in terms of its usage, because he literally gutted the one department that looks after, do you know what I mean?
Compliance and stuff.
And safety and all that kind of thing. So it's just it's very sad. Also as well, I think that the media is helping Twitter to become this news story, because it's actually not as used as you would think.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? People do use it, but they don't. Do you know what I mean? It's not the number one social media platform. Yeah. It hasn't been for a while. Do you know what I mean? So I think, there are agendas at play here.
They're all working hand in hand.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm just really conscious that Elon is not the guy. Do you know what I mean?
I don't think
really
any
isn't.
of them are. And I think that's
me.
the thing. It's actually the influence of social media more than anything, and our power, because we don't have to be on it.
We don't.
In that way. We've lived through a time where it wasn't there. So it's like you either use it for what you're going to use it for, but don't let it be your information source of any type of information, because really they do skew everything. What's pushed to you, what you're seeing, the algorithms, that it is playing a game. And people are falling for this game and thinking that it's reality, and it's not. It's somebody's agenda that is being pumped towards you, and you think that's actually fact.
And even the conversation between who uses what platform, because I think I'm in a group and a bunch of them, one of them was saying, oh yeah, I'm glad Twitter's imploding, I hate Twitter because I use YouTube, it's better. And I'm like, it's all the same. It's all a different medium. It's wherever we're so many different human beings, where we get our information from, it has to be a multitude of platforms, but you have to just do, as you said, just look further than just that first link and whatever, and think that's your only resource of information. Because I see something on Instagram, I go to Twitter to find all the different links, and I go to the internet to find wider resources. You just have to do your due diligence and not stick to one place. Anyway, Auntie Nana, what have you heard?
All right, I've got two stories. So you guys tell me which one you want to actually discuss while I get to it. All right, so it's either we talk about the Albanian refugee situation, because they're saying so far 12,000 Albanian refugees came over within a month, and that's more than ever before. And so loads of English people are up in arms about this, saying that the Albanians are going to come and rape us and all of that jazz.
Of course they are.
So there's that. Or we talk about my culture offering, which is Kelechi and Lin Mei.
Kelechi and Lin Mei, because on the immigrants, it's the same old.
Okay.
But hold on, can I just quickly ask?
Yeah.
Why are they Albanian? What's going on in Albania?
Why they're here? Apparently, there's a set of kind of, let's call them mafia, an Albanian mafia group who seems to have taken over a part of France.
Oh wow!
The waters, so they're able to get them to France and go through the channel to the UK. That's why there's been a huge spike. in them coming over, and it's lots of men as well. That's why so many people are scared, because it's like it's a criminal element to it that are getting them here, and it's thousands of men and single men. So that's the worry.
Should we be scared?
If it's a worry.
Are you scared,
Kelechi
Aunty
and
It
Lin Mei,
sounds like propaganda to me.
Are you scared, Auntie Nana?
of them being here?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, Kelechi and Lin Mei, please.
Kelechi and Lin Mei. Okay, so a couple of weeks ago, Lin Mei decided that she was going to come for Kelechi, put a story out saying, like, I didn't know that Kelechi has mixed race children. She doesn't have children, she has a son. But she was like, you know, because she's pro-black, I didn't think that she would. That went on, she got gunned by various people, and Kelechi has just done a phenomenal podcast response to her called Dear Keisha's, is that her name? Keisha's mum. And she addresses Lin Mei's mum, because Keisha is actually her real name, and tells her that she is a failing mother because she has brought up a whatless daughter. Wanted to get your thoughts on that situation. And what can we do about a person like Lin Mei? As the aunties.
I mean, Lin Mei is I don't follow her, and so I feel like I'm not equipped to talk about her because I don't follow her. I don't listen to what she says. There's a bunch of young girls doing their stuff, which I rate you guys do your thing, but as a grown woman, I can't always engage. Lin Mei's reputation precedes her, and I see her being antagonistic for likes. That's her character. That's the persona it appears she's created. Why she came for Kelechi? There's two things on this. I can't deny I've had a conversation. I haven't had conversations about being black and having pro-black and having a white partner. But Kelechi's never been like, I'm a pro-black. She's not a militant. She just speaks out in defense of black people. Or when fuckery occurs, Kelechi speaks up. And if it's racist fuckery, she will speak up on our behalf. And that's what she does. So what Lin Mei was doing or saying or why she did it is very random and weird. And I just think she wanted to cause controversy. But I don't know if I don't know why she didn't reckon on someone like Kelechi coming for her, but I don't know if she even's like, oh, I knew this was going to happen. I don't know. I don't think she's stupid, but I also don't pay any attention to her.
I'm just like, why would you ever come for Kelechi? It just doesn't make any sense at all whatsoever. Like, I feel like Kelechi is a person, as you said, that she fights for the people who are most vulnerable in our society. She fights for us. Excuse me. Do you know what I mean? And she's always putting in the work, and you don't have to listen to her, right? It's your choice. You don't have to follow her. You don't have to engage with any of her content at all. And her relationship status, or the race of her child, or whatever choices that she's made, is nothing to do with you at all. Like, I just don't understand where she was coming from in any sort of way. It was just seemed like a kind of, I don't know, like the lowest denominator of like trying to make something entertaining. Like, absolutely not. It's just like, it just goes to show how desperate you are to come for a woman of such caliber, to kind of trying to stoke these like nasty views in people. It's actually disgusting. So I think she should be ashamed, and maybe your mum needs to be ashamed a little bit too.
It might be that,
maybe I can't. I haven't listened to that podcast, but I'm pretty sure I might be nodding her head a little bit.
I was totally actually, they're brilliant points, because as parents, you've brought this woman into the world, and she has really questionable views on blackness and black women, and she does seem angry. I think that was more poignant, that she would feel that it's okay to come for Kelechi as well as a black woman, because generally when she does talk about black people, it's usually women that she's going for. It's never really men, it's always women. And it's like, so who are you going to come for that's going to get the most attract? It is Kelechi at this moment in time, for what she's doing, for how she speaks out. But it's just the levels that she went for going with her child. But also then there was no defense. Her defense was, this is what happens when mixed race women speak out.
Who said that?
This was Lin Mei's defense.
What
like,
do you mean?
In her story. So after she came for Kelechi and everybody's like, why are you coming for Kelechi? Her defense was, whenever a mixed race woman talks, this is what happens.
Oh, come on. That's why I don't watch what she...
That was her defense.
If only people didn't listen.
There is that. But she does have a voice now. And
she
these are the things where I am like, actually, what do we because it's easy to say, oh, ignore them, it doesn't
No, I'm
ever
not
happen.
saying ignore her. I'm just saying,
work.
why doesn't one listen? But the fact of the matter is, you're saying as an aunties, how can we advise her? She's on a path. She's not going to listen. There's no one that she's going to listen to. She's on a path. She knows she's been doing this, courting controversy and spewing her ill thought out views, whether she believes them or not, and going for Kelechi because she knows that will cause attention. She is calculated then. If she's not stupid, then she's calculated, and she's on the ride. She's going to make money.
But don't you think it's like it's within the trauma scope as to why she's doing it?
Of course.
It's like you're feeding something in you that you feel like I'm hated. You do things that courts more hate, and then it's like it reaffirms I'm hated.
If she
again.
feels that she's two things. She can go and get healing and realize, oh shit, this is what's going wrong. Then you withdraw yourself from the public eye, and then you don't make the money that you're making, and you change. And so
I just don't. I
care.
think you guys give a lot of people a lot of leeway in general. Do you know what I mean? There's some stupid people out there. There are some evil people out there. There are. Do you know what I mean? Not everybody is. Do you know what I mean? On the path of light. At the end of the day, do you know what I mean? Those people exist, and we really pretend like they don't. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that she is that, but I'm just saying there is a spectrum of people out there, and what you have to think about what is a person consistently putting into the world.
I think I'm on your side on this. I'm just saying that she might have trauma all day long, and it's her choice whether she wants to get healing or not, or she doesn't, and she's just her.
It doesn't matter whether you have trauma or not. That doesn't give you an excuse to be an asshole.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And that is my ultimate
But
point.
I think we all agree it's exactly that. But there's a choice to either continue down that vein and make your money and do what you're doing and don't care.
She's gonna have to feel like ultimately what we've seen in history, that people like this, they feel eventually.
They do.
They come
you know
round.
what I mean? And then what is expected of us is like, now then
Empathy.
we're supposed to be like, oh, because you now
That
see
is
the
true.
light.
Yeah.
Me personally, no. I'm not gonna do that.
It's a zero acceptance of her ever.
Absolutely not, because you're actively choosing this. You're
There
actively
is that.
choosing
She is.
She is choosing
definitely.
it
It's
because
very
you knew going for
calculated.
Kelechi. You know, she's not dumb. Or,
Well,
that's what I'm saying. She might be dumb, but I don't.
I think everybody should really listen to Kelechi's latest episode.
Yeah, I will.
Because it is a masterclass in just podcasting anyway. The way she like puts it all together is and the read is phenomenal. It's phenomenal.
How dare you come for a child? Like, how
You're
dare
a child.
you?
It's like, it's even disrespectful. Some
It's
small
so
child.
And
disrespectful.
Shea Barra as well for putting her
But come
kids'
on,
picture
The
up.
thing is,
are you gonna come for
to
Shea
be-
Barra?
to
Shea
be
Barra have been
fair,
doing that.
This is the thing, like they can't put up what's not created. She created that piece of content.
No,
and
I'm
they
talking
put it
about the
up
picture.
of-
But that's what
Because
Shea
you know,
Barra
like,
does.
Kelechi is very selective on
Oh, she
pictures.
put, she put
So
pictures.
Shea
when
Barra did.
Shade
Oh,
Barra
really?
did. They put up the
Oh.
picture. Yeah, those are the bits where it is like, actually, can we just
showing
have
the
some
child's identity, or just
slightly
showing,
blurred? So
oh,
it's
okay.
holding. It's a
Right.
picture of her with her son though.
Right.
But it is like just
Yeah.
everybody within the scope. Yeah,
But
there's
we
certain
said this about-
content,
we said
but there
this
needs
about
to be
that.
a little bit of responsibility.
I do think children should be off limits.
They should be,
they should be.
Like,
They should be.
that's not right. They
Yeah.
shouldn't do that.
But Shea Barra's
For
going to
sure.
Shea Barra and Shade Room's going to Shade Room. But
what I'm saying is, like, if Lin Mei didn't say it in the first place,
They wouldn't have put
there
it out
wouldn't
there.
there would be
Yeah.
nothing.
That
to
is
put
it.
up.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
they do need a compliance department. Maybe the ex-Twitter staff can come and join them.
Can join in stuff.
Yeah, can come and work
Come
for
and
Shea
help
Barra.
them.
with their compliance and standards. Auntie Sade, what have you heard?
Okay, so my story is a little bit lighter. So basically, I saw this Twitter thread on Instagram, actually.
As always, that's where I get my Twitter news
This
from.
is what I'm saying.
I get it from
This
Instagram.
is why it's all connected. And I will shout out Black Twitter threads because
Oh, they are the best.
And
Oh,
embracing
well,
that
this
culture.
is the thing. I
Yeah.
just can't wait to see where Black Twitter is going to land next.
It's going to land on Twitter.
No, I think it's going to move. Hopefully,
Do you
it
think
will.
they'll get their sources
Hopefully.
from? I don't know.
Whatever the
Somewhere.
case is, we're all one happy
Do you know
family. It
what I
goes from
mean?
TikTok to Insta to Twitter.
can't-
It's,
Black
I
Twitter
know.
threads is the best.
it's the best.
Yeah,
It's
no,
so-
honestly,
it's
they just need to
perfect.
create a platform. TikTok, if you're listening, create the feature. But anyway, so basically, this young lady, she was going to her younger brother's wedding, and she basically asked for how can I insult, like, she knows she's gonna ask the question because she's the older sibling, like, why are you not married? She's not married at the moment, and she wanted some insults to arm herself to deal with the aunties, basically. Let me just, sorry, I should let me just find it real quick. Where did I put it?
That's the best.
In the group. So basically, yeah. So she said, my younger brother is getting married next week. Please, I need hot responses that will give the aunties that I will give the aunties when they ask when I'm getting married. And she said the kind hot responses, the kind that will get me disowned. So that's what she asked for.
So she was asking for fire.
She wanted pepper.
Yeah.
Yes. All right.
So some people said, so the auntie's asking, when will you marry? And then she's going to respond and say, when your husband stops disturbing me. Which
that's fair.
I would never say it.
Woo!
Yeah,
I would never say
hot.
that. But that is hot. That's fire.
Maybe you would just be like when the uncles stop. It, like you know.
I would never say your husband,
but you're not your husband.
God,
that's
imagine doing that.
No, you would get disowned though, instantly.
And beaten
and slapped. And then the shame. The mum's gonna be like the shame. The shame.
That's too much.
Another example someone put is so auntie's asking why aren't you married, and the response is it because you failed in every business you now want to try my business?
That's what I'm saying. Imagine, it's rude. Auntie, you can't keep job.
That's a
you tried to open a market store and it failed, and you're coming to ask my business.
I'm actually kicking you in your stomach.
I'm pushing. I'm doing that. I'm doing the whole push. Your whole face got mushed back.
Can you imagine if one of your nieces said that to you though, in your face, like
the jollof rice?
I would go like I'll pull back and it's a boom in your.
No, I'll be like, hey, my God, and I'll call everybody. I'll make all the everyone.
You know when you
cause a scene.
When you go into she attacked me. Yeah, I'm lying.
So you come to my whole body will go, hey.
Would you go full African mode as well?
Sometimes it comes out sometimes anyway. But I may drop on the floor. Yeah.
Hey, my God! Hey, shit!
You may drop on the floor.
Everything. My God!
No.
Yeah, me.
That's an insult.
Everything. I'll do it for like 12 minutes.
I can't lie. I might pull the lips though. I might just pull your lips
and drag you to
your mum.
Yes.
Yeah. Drag you. Come. By your lips.
Everything.
Because there's no way. There's absolutely no way.
All I asked was your welfare. Just when you're getting married, and now I'm being
attacked like that. And that's how I do it. Like, go start. All I said. Just, you know me, sister, I know I love her, my baby.
Someone
said that she married.
So ask me, when are you married? Ask me.
When were you married? When are you going to get married?
Just say the food is finished at home and you need another wedding to still more meat.
Miss Rude. It's rude.
It's rude.
But anyway.
That is a flick in the forehead though. It's a flick
but that one,
because I may laugh with you, but I'm gonna flick you in your head.
Go and get me another plate.
I'm gonna have to ask you to repeat it.
No, I'm gonna flick every time. As you say every word, I'm gonna flick your lips.
You're gonna have to repeat it a couple times.
And go and get me a plate.
Say it again.
And go and get me more meat.
Wowzers!
Go get me a whole plate of meat.
And the meat that I've got in my bag.
Yeah.
Because I've got Tupperware already.
Obviously.
But yeah, so she ended up saying basically, so she then shared a screenshot of her mum basically calling her name's Nana.
My name's Nana too, but it's that. It's
my type of Nana, isn't it?
It's not me, because I'm a good Nana.
And she says, did you see, I don't know how to say that, Umu Abu?
Bro, that's
yesterday?
Not no? Abu. Okay.
Yeah,
and did you ask her to face her own marriage? And then she said, no, mummy.
Yeah, I'd like to.
And then she said, okay, dear. She said, I said monitor.
Oh. Oh my God.
Okay.
So
she told the aunt to monitor her own marriage before talking.
I like that though.
And then her mum.
I think that's a good one. Monitor your own marriage. I think I'm going to say that. Monitor your own life before you monitor mine. I love that.
Oh my God.
I actually like it.
What happened to her?
Saying all that to say, so she said,
I like it.
Is she still around?
Said,
monitor your own life.
The family meeting's next week.
Yeah.
No, it should be.
But like, I'm saying all that to say, like, as aunties, we are aunties.
Yeah.
Right? Is there ever a time where it's okay to ask? if someone's gonna get married or their relationship status. Like, do you think that it's okay, or do you think it is now like such a taboo? Because the response, or what you see, like, obviously I watch like a lot of comedy channels on social media and stuff, and this is like a regular occurrence for a topic of comedy.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? But it's always on the defensive, right? Do you know what I mean? Like, it is not said like with what you're saying, so I'm going to long, but like it's not, it never seems to be received with love.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
I think it's how you ask, on all seriousness. Like, if you're just like, so why not, if you're saying with a judgmental tone, and that's the thing, because it's we're in today's on.
But can you if my auntie asks me like, so why are you married, I'm already thinking it's judgmental.
Yeah,
exactly. It might not be judgmental, but because of that stereotype is so strong within our community, how would they know?
But that's how you receive it.
But that's how you receive it. But my point is, I think aunties, you're in general, because there's always that random auntie that comes to ask questions and you don't know who are you. You're not even related to us. There's that one that comes to insert herself.
Really
can't stand that one.
Yeah.
You want Auntie Getty with your hairs on your chest. Come on.
With your hair on your chest.
Yeah, it's like, it's always. I know it is. It is actually. Because you know what? I was thinking of an auntie that used to get on my nerves back in the day. So I'm getting traumatized.
Well,
I'm getting traumatized.
Oh my God, it's true. Yeah, like
is
the little.
It she's got hairs on her chest?
She's always the one that's.
She's got.
No. Do you know what? Let's remove this. Let's not dwell here, because people are and the women have issues. No, because you've got polycystic ovaries, all that type of shit.
I know.
Fuck that.
Probably married.
Right? No, but she wasn't. Okay. All I'm saying is, let's move on. I'm not, because even hair's sometimes older. Fuck it. Not that. It's not that. It's just particularly that particular auntie. It's always the one that's not even related to the family. That comes to ask all the controversial, nosy things. She thinks she knows things. She's the one who takes more food than she should. She wasn't even in the kitchen. She wasn't even there on time. That auntie, fuck you. But other aunties that that's your blood, that that's your proper auntie, or by design, they will ask you, and I think you generally know the intention behind it. Sometimes it's bants, and sometimes like, oh, so why aren't you married? You're a nice girl. Why? What's going on? Or something like that. It's the delivery. I think
so. I think it's on the delivery. I have been that auntie. But I'm asking genuinely, like, what's happening in your life? Like, it's not gonna just be, are you getting married? Because as for me, it took me 12 years before I got married. So it would just be more like, especially if they're in a relationship, I would just be asking, how is it going? General like that. I wouldn't just go up to somebody who I know is single and ask them, because I think that's rude. And sometimes I do think older women are a bit bitter with their life.
Yes, projection.
And they pass it on to you. Why? Because they know that it's going to hurt, and you can spot those aunties. Yes. Yes, some of them are not. They're not happy, and they know that you're good because they see it. You can see when the convo's happening.
I've experienced that. Like, I've got a lot of aunties, right? Like, a lot of growing up. Like, my dad had a huge congregation, so everyone older was an auntie, right? And they treated us as such. So, like, because we were my dad's children, like, they had an interest in us, if that made sense, that kind of thing. So if I'm walking on the street, I see them, they will ask me these kind of questions. But I never see it as like, oh, they're thingy with their life. I always see, what I do see is the judgment, right? And like the like, because I've never really I wasn't a kid that grew up and wanted to get married. I didn't dream about that. That wasn't my thing, and it just hasn't really been my thing, right? So, like, trying to explain them from a Western point of view, like, I'm not really on that. Then it turns into a whole different conversation, and that is ultimately what I'm trying to avoid. It's not even like I don't want to answer the question. It's just that because then you're going to tell me to get closer to God, and then it's because of this and that, and you know nothing about my life, and you're making all these judgments, and you think that it's going to be solved by having this marriage, and it's not. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm trying to avoid when I get those questions. But I don't actually, in all the times I've been asked, I don't think it's been because they were unhappy with their life. Do you know what I mean? I don't think I've ever felt that projection. Do you know what I mean?
That's fair. That's fair. I think it's auntie by auntie, or like, it's auntie by auntie, because I've definitely seen those aunties. And it's a bit like, because my life's shit. But also the ones who are just like caring, and also those who are projecting because they've grown up in a world where if you don't have a man, as a woman, you're incomplete, and you're not. But they're coming. To be honest, it's going to shift. It's a generational thing as well. Because as we are the new aunties.
Yeah.
The aunties
Life
could
is
never,
different.
and we approach this conversation differently. We're going to be like, so who are you dating? He, she. We'll be asking those questions. We're saying we're going to be asking now. It's like, I know. I think I've said to someone, who are you dating? Girls, guys, what is it? And it's not a judgment. It's more like, what's going on? It's open. The conversations are different now.
And you're not going to preach to them if they say something.
I'm not married, and so and it's more like, this is my life, this is what's your life saying, and I definitely speak to younger people with an open conversation and a lot more of like, this is what my life's been like, learn from it what you will, and I understand what path you're on, blah, 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 blah. This is the type of auntie I'd like to be.
Yes,
and rather
definitely.
than the judgmental auntie.
And not to tell them how it should be. Like, I think that's the point.
There's no blueprint.
You know, it's like by your age, I had grandkids or something, like all of that stuff. And it's just like, it's different now. It's a different world. And that's when I'm like, it's not going to be a fruitful conversation. Yeah. So why are you having it with me? If you don't want to hear my life, why are you asking me questions? Those are the bits where it's like you're trying to avoid getting into those interactions, because it's for them to preach to you and tell you know what, you should be married now.
Yeah,
thank you. How? I've got a nephew over here who needs a passport. Go marry. It's long. It's not
for their own benefit.
Intention.
I've had more of those like, you're accomplished now. Like, where's your husband, from uncles rather than
that's dirtiness.
aunties.
I don't like uncles.
No, not like them trying to
not
get
them
me.
trying but sometimes men.
I don't know.
Not mean about your uncles, but there's something about men like, you're ripe, you're ready. I don't like that.
It definitely wasn't that, but it was more of like, okay, what more? Like, you're educated, you're making money. What's the problem?
Yeah, you're too independent.
Like, it's almost that. Like,
you need to be kept now.
Yeah, basically, which it's mainly uncles.
Really?
That
I hear that
to me. Yeah.
I'm gonna start looking at uncles now, but I noticed the aunties making beelines.
Aunties are like, come on now, because it's really bad. Men are like, you're being too wild, come on, get someone to control you. And the nicer, in quotes, you are, it becomes a little bit like, someone needs to control you. You know that thing, because especially as black women, especially if you're shapely, beautiful, comely, got that wifely or comely. It's like comely is like, you've got that kind of.
I have never heard that term before.
You guys need to.
No.
A comely woman is someone's like a homemaker, childbearing. I'm doing that because like that kind. A comely woman is someone
from
that
the
kind.
1800s.
Yeah, it's like it is.
I've literally never heard that. That's why
it's
a comely. I was like,
a
what?
comely woman is someone that's like wife material. Like,
she's
not
use
too
words from the 20th.
Like voluptuous.
Can we use the
voluptuous.
21st century word?
Is it like a homemaker though? Like
like a homemaker.
So another way of saying homely would be comely.
Oh, women
from the 1600s.
Well, I don't know where it was from, but whatever case is. Bro, I read books.
Can you imagine if somebody was like, oh my God, you're such a
comely
woman. You'd
But
be
someone
like,
from a generation would say that. I'm introducing. They might be. I'm introducing words. Hey, I'm a history teacher, man. I told you, I'm old English. I'm an old English chick.
Men, I don't
ever call a woman comely.
No,
don't. Homely, because that means you're not that cute. You're cute.
But homely, at least we understand it. But comely, I'm thinking like prostitution.
Like
the term sounds like
you look like
you took it sexual. It's literally not.
Because you're saying come.
Yeah, but come no.
That's what I'm saying. Men don't ever say comely.
No,
that is not
it's
a nice.
never ever about sex. It's about being comely. No, like the
what is that comely?
You're saying
what is
you
comely?
Talk about these nuts. Talk about.
But that was a different conversation.
Okay,
comely. Google it.
The dots in the same.
But what is
the same?
Okay, what is the cum?
Oh my God, I can't do it anymore.
Like, as in, come here, come hither.
Just a welcoming,
you're
embracing, you're a comely woman.
I'm making it up, I don't know.
You're a homemaking comely woman, and comely woman, not a cum woman.
Because it needs a thing in it, the cum part to be a lead.
I need to
the word C-O-M-E, not C-U-M.
No, I thought it was C-O.
Right, as in come hither.
So is it...
What?
That would be
Producing what? That's camely.
Camely woman.
No. You're doing something else, young lady.
Spell it, please.
C-O-M-E-L-Y. Comely.
I bet it don't exist.
John, from the 1800s.
I don't know. I've no 1800s.
Anyway,
there's no reception in here anyway.
But anyway, all my point the fuck is, it's like from the uncles. I don't like it.
Okay.
Oh wow, yeah. Pleasant to look at, attractive, typically used of a woman.
When
And
was
then the
it around?
sentence is the comely Italian actress Valeria Golino.
How old is this word?
And then it doesn't agreeable, suitable, agreeable.
You see what I'm
A
saying?
comely specimen.
Right. That's my point.
Don't like that.
I didn't say it was a great word, but I'm telling you.
Comely.
I know things, you know. I'm Old English.
I swear it's from the 1600s.
Whatever the case is, I'm Old English. I've been reading, babes.
But yeah, men, don't try and bring that word
Yeah,
back in.
from the 1800s was when it was in its peak.
See, everybody that used comely is dead.
But my point is, it's a word.
You're
And
just resurrecting words.
because I'm an encyclopedia of facts.
Oh my God.
Old English is me.
Somehow I'm going to try and put that in a sentence though.
Go on, it's easy. Comely.
I'm going to see if
You're
anybody
looking-
else notices
you're looking
how when you
comely
said it and
today.
we were like, comely.
You're looking comely today.
No thanks.
Those who watch
Okay.
Bridgerton,
Flipping Agatha.
shout out my Bridgerton crew.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Anyway.
Okay.
Okay. That was interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's that on that.
That's that on that.
Aunties know best.
Wow.
Aunties know best. Aunties know best. Aunties know best. Digga, 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 digga. Aunties know best.
Why?
Aunties know best. Aunties know best.
Don't it feel like you're in a studio because
It
it's got
does,
the
because
guard
it's
on
like
it?
the guard, and then he's like,
Yeah.
Aunties,
Aunties
know best. Cause my auntie Sade, you know best. My auntie Nana, you know best.
As we're gonna go to the 1800s.
My auntie, that's me. Auntie AK. No, that's 60s.
But that's what comely was
No,
using.
no.
Actually happening here.
She tried to add Ike and Tina Turner rolling in the, but it's
She's
the
trying to do
60s.
freaking
Okay,
slave
what is the
songs.
1800s? What's the
And you
1800s?
need to stop.
What was the 1800s song?
Wade in the water.
See, it's the same thing.
No, rolling in the river.
Okay.
River. No, don't sing Wade in the water though, because that's not our theme
it's
tune.
not.
Aunties
It's
know
not.
best.
Okay.
And I was in the bit about
can we know
myself.
best, please? And do
Well, I know best because I'm Auntie AK.
Okay.
And I know
All right,
best
so let's get
'cause
some-
I'm actually that now.
And say, I know best because I'm Auntie
No,
Sade.
I'm not playing your game.
Because I'm Auntie Sade.
So dumb. You're so dumb. I know you guys wish you could speak in the ranges that I do, but you can't. It's fine.
Do I wish?
Yeah, you do. Can you get a dilemma, please?
That sounded like a challenge.
So I've got a Twitter issue.
No, it's more like, you guys wish you could talk in the range that I do.
No, babe.
No, babe.
She said no, babe.
No,
She
babe.
said no, babe.
Now we're going to copy you all day. Go on,
Can
try.
we? Yes. Can we
Can
have
you
a
try and do my
dilemma?
voice? Can you try and do my
Can you
voice?
try to do my voice?
Go and say something.
Can you try and do my voice?
No, can you try to do my voice?
Yeah, can you try and do my voice?
But
You try
it's
to do my
like
voice.
it makes me vibrate here.
You're doing this. Can you try and do my voice?
What's the phrase?
I don't speak like that. I have a low dulcet voice, but I don't go, oh,
I have
my
a
voice.
low dosette voice.
Yeah, that's it.
I have a low
That
dosette
doesn't sound
voice.
like me. What you do. I prefer Sade. Auntie Sade is better.
I prefer Auntie Sade. Auntie Sade's better.
What is with the staccato? I'm talking about.
Why does she sound like she's got D-nuts in her mouth?
Can we not? Can we not?
That's what you are. Blah, 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 blah. Like,
I'm a
you're
comely woman.
basically. Because you're a comely woman. That's how you speak. How does Auntie Nana speak? Because you're a comely woman.
I don't talk like that.
I don't talk like that.
I don't talk like that.
That's more me.
No, it's
I
not
don't
more.
talk like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
That's more me.
That's
That's
no,
more-
That's
no.
more me.
You sound cockney.
She does sound cockney.
She does not. No, you don't know what to say.
No,
Because you said, I'm not buggers. You said, I literally talk like a dog.
I didn't say but like Muttley.
Yeah.
I didn't say that, but you do. There is a rasp.
I do
Yeah,
have a
you do
rasp
have
like
a bit of a
Beyonce.
rasp.
Okay.
But when?
No.
Beyonce has a deep voice and a rasp. Does Beyonce not have a deep voice and
Can
a rasp?
we move
does,
on to?
Thank
but
you.
not in the
Moving on.
same-
Twitter issue.
not in the same
I have a
thing.
Twitter issue.
Yours is
I'm
definitely
pissed. There's an
not in
issue
the
on
same.
Twitter.
She has a
Deep
sweetness.
and rasp.
You have a sweetness.
We're in the same gang. Girls.
No.
You won't break my soul. You won't break my soul.
Why are you humping the chair?
And the legs are open and also.
I can't help the legs being open.
You can.
No, I can't. It hurts.
What?
Twitter issue.
I don't even know.
There's an issue on Twitter.
Okay.
I'm pissed at the
You're
fact
scary,
that
man.
my friend left my house this morning without informing me that she's leaving her son here. When I text her about it, she says, "I'm sorry, I was in a rush. I'll be back in a few hours." This is a deceitful way to trap someone into babysitting, isn't it?
What the? So I'm guessing
my
her
friend
brethren
left
and the
my
son.
house this morning without informing me that she's leaving her son there. So basically, everyone stayed round.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Bye." She didn't even say bye. She left the child.
And the child was just there.
Yeah.
And you don't know what your friend is doing.
No.
And what did the friend say?
When I text her about it, she says, "I'm sorry, I was in a rush. I'll be back in a few hours."
Was she back in a few hours?
That one, I haven't got the end of the story.
That's horrifying. Like that's
I don't know what
madness.
situation could a friend do that. No, because she's never had the conversation, unless it was an emergency, and it obviously wasn't, because she just was like, not just anyhow. It's disrespectful.
I think it kind of depends how close they are.
But then it wouldn't
Because-
because they can't. Okay, go on. Sorry.
Because right, like
Okay.
if you're like sister friends,
Right.
do you know what I mean? Like,
I'm just
and
gone.
do you know what I mean? And like you just gone some like, and your kids, it shouldn't be a problem. Do you know what I mean? If you know that I'm in the house and you know that I don't have plans or whatever kind of thing, then it shouldn't be as much of a problem. It's a bit disrespectful. It is disrespectful. If this is it's disrespectful.
Yeah.
But it's not like, if we're sister friends, yeah, cool, okay, you're annoying, but
We're gonna have a convo about it. It doesn't say if she has children. I can only see this as okay, like if it was me and my friend has left her son with me because I have my sons. So I'm going to be looking after just a bunch of boys. I wouldn't mind that. But if I'm single and you've stayed over with your child, and then you've left your child, you don't know what I'm doing with my day. I could have a nail appointment. There could be somebody coming over. I just think that's super
It's the
inconsiderate.
assumption
It's the
of
weirdest
the days.
it
thing.
also might be a cry for help as well. But I'm
That's it.
just thinking like, it's not so much friends, but definitely family. Do you know what I mean? I could be at the house and they go out. I don't know they've gone out, but now I'm looking after the kids.
That's happened
so
to me
it's just
before.
not.
Yeah.
But it wasn't ever seen as like, oh, it's just like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, cool, no problem. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not a, because it's if
just
you're there.
I feel like that's slightly
It's-
different. I've definitely had that with
Yeah,
my
but-
sister. She's left my nephew when I was younger, and I just had to stay in and look after him. And she didn't
Yeah.
say, but I've woken up. He's there, so it wasn't a thing.
That
But
seems like
coming
more
to
like a-
my house,
Yeah.
that's weird.
I just think it's weird because where to come? That seems
It might
slightly
be a cry for help. It
But
might
this is
be
the
like,
thing,
I
there's so many
actually need a
things,
break.
Yeah.
I actually need a break and I need to get out of here and I don't want to explain myself to anyone and I just
It
need a
could be
break.
that, and then that means your relationship has to be able to withstand the conversation that comes with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. Because it is, to me, if it is just literally, I got up, left my child because there's an element of disrespect. I don't care about your day. I'm just assuming that you're going to be all right to look after my child, whether I've got children or not. Because even if you've got your own child, you might have something set for your child that day. So the fact that there's no conversation, unless it's a cry for help, then that's very selfish behaviour. It's just rude and selfish. Just to expand on that, because there's this other one where a mum stayed out. It's from 21, but it's somehow resurfacing on socials. A mum stayed out all night, refusing to answer the babysitter's calls. The babysitter then said, "If you're not back at a certain time, I'm going to call the cops." And now I think the American equivalent of, at the time, the American equivalent of child support or child care or whatever was involved, and
Social services.
Social services, that's the one. Sorry. So basically, the woman did say that she's been babysitting for a woman who's always late, constantly late, constantly late. And she said she should have stopped the job. She knows, but she said the kids are lovely, and it is money that just comes. So I kind of suck it up. But the woman is always late. This time around, she gave the warning. I think she said she'd go to a brunch. She'd be gone from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. No, but she'd be gone. Sorry, I'm just trying to get the summary. On this particular occasion, she was supposed to be back by 9, and she wasn't. She texted and said, can you come back? There was no response. Another hour, no response. Calling and texting, no response. Then she said, if you don't come, I'm going to do this. This is my action I'm going to take. Still didn't come, so she followed through, called the cops or whatever. And then the woman now is vexed, saying, how dare you do that? I'm now at risk of losing my kids. It was on Am I the Arsehole as well. Is the babysitter an arsehole?
Oh my god.
Yeah, you got a bit too far. Yeah, but because you had the choice of not. Oh, sorry, go on, answer.
Yeah.
So you had the choice.
Yeah,
of
I feel that is asshole. But I get why, but it is asshole behavior.
Yeah. You didn't like if you know someone showed you who they are and you just decided not to believe them and now you're pissed.
Yeah.
And so you're taking it to extreme.
Yes.
But they've showed you who they are.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So regardless of you getting paid or you like the kids, you should have basically put her in a situation. You should have put your boundaries in
Exactly.
place, basically.
Or this could be your final straw and be like, I'm never looking after these kids
can't go
again.
back then anyway.
But I mean, I think that's a huge leap of trouble to put somebody. It's not even just a woman though; it's the kids.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the thing. It's like actually, if they go into child services and care and all of that, it's like no, that's affecting their life.
If she did lose the kids based on that,
it's I would just I'm there now, innit? I'm in it with the kids, but to call the police and stuff, nah.
What if? Because I agree, but what if the woman being late is a sign, like just not a sign of not caring about the kids? Because like you've got, what is this thing that you're always late, you're the babysitter's looking after your kids for excessive moments where you're supposed to be here at this time, you're off gallivanting in quotes, and you're not respecting the fact that your kids need time with you now as a parent. Where is the level of, is there?
Well, it's not for I think it's difficult, but it's not always for outside people to judge that in terms of like what is best for the children and stuff, and like everyone's got different temperaments, everyone needs different amounts of breaks, all that kind of stuff. But I think the only thing she can do in that scenario is just not take the job. That's it. Like that's where she has power and leverage. Everything else is really going beyond do you know what I mean? If she's not saying that the kids are abused, they're in trouble, they're in danger or anything like that, then there's complaints. She's not saying there's a history of anything there where the children could potentially be in danger. She's saying it's lateness.
Like she's not respecting her time.
Yeah, basically.
I don't think that's a
personal
it's not
problem.
enough.
That's not a call to call the police and social services.
Just stop. You just don't take the job.
No, you just stop. Because you know she doesn't respect you the time.
And she might respect another babysitter, but not
you because you let it go for so long. But no, this seems spiteful.
So what would because it
she's the arsehole.
Okay. No, I was gonna say how would you get that respect? Because if someone's like we're always late, you're just gonna quit. How does they learn?
You can't.
No, it's finished now.
I just wanted to know how the woman.
You can't say no.
But how? Just in general, how would you
if you wanted to balance it, what you could do is just like say that she's like, I want to go to a brunch, I'll do it, and then cancel last minute. Sorry, I can't do it no more. That's if you want to do it that way. So that you.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I want to say. Some tips. How do you get it? How do you get someone to kind of realize? I know, but then
that's not the way you do things. You just don't work with her.
That's it. I think it is that you just don't work with her anymore. There's other things in place. It ends at this time. I'm going to take them to this person's house, your mum's. Like,
that's what I'm saying. What are the things? Because this person is obviously doing it by not, and she's not caring or something. Whatever the case is, she's late. So I just wanted to know what are the tips for how to maybe change that relationship. And it's that maybe I'm going to take the kids to somewhere else.
Sometimes people are late. There's some people that are chronically late.
No, I understand that.
You know what I mean? It's just like
it's looking at how you deal with these things.
Is it? Are you taking it personally? Not to gaslight the lady at all, but are you taking it personally? Is it you? Do you know what I mean? Like, does she just have this issue with you? Is it someone? Do you know what I mean? Is this a pattern of behaviour with everything that she does? Is she late for work? Is it? Do you know what I mean? Or is it just you?
But I like the idea of like taking the kids to somewhere else. Saying, well, you're gonna have to get your kids from here now.
But that's not her responsibility. She shouldn't take the job.
That's
the bottom line.
I'm just saying.
Don't do it.
No.
All right, guys. What's made you sad, mad, and glad this week?
Okay, should I?
You can go.
Start. My sad. Hopefully you guys have seen it. Shanquilla Robinson going to Cabo on holiday and being there 24 hours later. I watched her dad do a live with another guy, and I was just watching it, sobbing. I was just that tragedy of it's a holiday with your friends, and them coming back and lying and eating in her mother's house and being like it's alcohol poisoning, and really there was a fight. That to me is just the most disgusting thing that properly shook me up this week. Like, it's just the saddest thing ever. My Matt Hancock on I'm a Celebrity. I'm just disgusted at the British public. don't really seem to be grasping what this man did, like what he implemented, and how many people lost their mothers and grandmothers and grandfathers and fathers because of what he put in place and putting elderly people into care homes that were in hospital and spreading coronavirus. Like, it's just, it's heinous that all he did was resign and he's not on trial, but then he can go on I'm a Celebrity and get paid
And
allegedly
get
400,000. Yes, and just the use of the black celebs in there, like kind of giving him credibility. I'm disgusted. I get what they've got to do, and I'm nothing against any of the celebs in there for talking to him, but I don't like that they were using black celebrity to give him kudos and coolness as well, because he should be on trial. And my glad, I had two really interesting women come into Hub and Culture this week who were just doing amazing things around Africa. And one of my favourite books is The Alchemist, and one of the women is from the same tribe that's in that book. She's from a desert tribe, so she would travel all around Africa, and it was just, her spirit was just amazing. And another woman moved to Zanzibar in the pandemic, because Zanzibar and Mexico at one point was the only two places you could fly to without being vaccinated, and she had loads of stuff from there that she brought into the shop, and it's just really warmed my heart meeting two new sister friends, because you don't really meet genuine people very often that really come with their soul. So it was lovely.
That's nice. Nice to show them.
Okay, so my side is also Shanquella. Sorry, my bad. Robinson as well. Like, I just thought it was just like awful that I don't know, just deaf to the frenemy, man. Like, that's, do you know what I mean? Like, that's
awful.
You know, like to think that these people are supposed to be her friends.
Yep.
Like, it really just angers me. Like, that is probably
horrible.
my sad and mad, actually. Like, it's just awful. I just hope that the family gets the justice that they deserve on that.
Hope
do you know
so.
what I mean? I really do. Also mad at Trump having the audacity to run again. Like, I'm absolutely mad at that. Like, he's king of delusion. And I'm glad because I'm feeling better, and it's been a while since I've been properly ill, feeling a lot better. And also because I saw Black Panther and I freaking loved it. Seriously, we should talk about that in our Patreon episode as well. We will do. It was really great.
A mood has been created. What made me sad this week, my dad's still in hospital. He's been in hospital for about 3 weeks. He had a heart valve replacement surgery, which has caused him to have a little bit of a stroke. And what's...
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah. And what's weird, I have no words for it. I don't know what's going on. I have no words for it right now. But I'm also really busy, which is interesting. And so I can't see him as much as I could. So yeah, it's a weird thing that we have. Maybe we'll talk about it in Patreon. As our parents get older, I've not thought about my dad because of my mum. Anyway, it's a conversation, but it's making me sad. I don't like the fact that my sitting room's freezing. I'm working in my front room and my feet are freezing again because I'm scared to put my heating on and I have to do it in bursts. I don't like this shit. Fuck the government and the Shanquella shit. That's made me sad. Mad is an old mad I haven't been able to do. My Peloton Ivy Park tracksuit. Now, I've been a fan of Ivy Park. I love my Ivy Park stuff. The stuff that I've bought, I love. But my Ivy Park tracksuit, the black one, the Peloton brand one, I bought it to travel with, to go to Ghana last Christmas. And when it came...
You have done this.
Did I do this already?
Yeah.
Did I do it?
Yeah.
It's still because
it's dusty.
Oh, I walked the other day and it's like, it's so dusty. Sorry, I thought I hadn't done it about it. Okay, cool. Like that, I'm still mad about it.
It made you mad, didn't it?
Yeah.
Like, you really was going to go into it.
Okay, do you know, right, sorry. You know what my other mad is? Yesterday, when I quickly, sorry. I'll try and make this short. Yesterday I was on the bus, quickly went to see my dad, 'cause I hadn't seen him. On the bus, it got to Chelsea Westminster Hospital. Getting off the bus was packed, so I was at the front of the bus. You know, nowadays bus drivers aren't so anal about letting you off the front of the bus, yeah? So I knocked on the window, said, oh, would you mind letting me off here at the front of the bus? Because otherwise I'd have to walk through people to go back on myself. 2 white women from behind me. One of them was like, no, because I think you have to use the door at the back. I was like, I know, I want to get off at the front. I upset and agitated. How dare you tell me how to get off a fucking... How long have I been getting a bus for? Nothing to brag about, but I've been getting a bus since I was 5 years old. What the hell? Anyway, don't tell me about fucking using the bus. Minding my own business, you know. I want to get off the bus where I want to get off the bus. It's a conversation. Yes, the bus driver opened the door. Okay. I said, thank you. And when I got off the bus, I cut my eye at them. Yes, I'm an angry black woman. Yes. I've got a lot of glads, so I'm going to try and get them through quickly. I'm very, very, very glad. One of my writers, Hannah Shuri Smith, won the Alfred Fagan Playwriting Award for her play Go Back Home. Hannah's special. I work with Waters White Film Festival in Cambridge. It's Cambridge University's film festival for students. I've been involved with them for a couple of years, and the year that I met Hannah, I did my first kind of one-to-one sessions with black students at Cambridge so they could drop in and speak to a black person, basically, in the industry. She came, we had a conversation. I was like, if you ever want to write for British Blacklist, please do. She followed through. She'd been our theatre writer for a couple of years, and she's gone on to do amazing things, and Hannah's the sweetest girl. Really glad about that. Also, extremely glad I hosted a Q&A with Gwyla Davis and her husband Julius Tennant for the Women King. It's BAFTA, it's award season, so BAFTA's doing lots of screenings, and they asked me to host, and that was a moment. Amazing. And my mum met Viola, and my mum's so super gassed, and it was the first time my mum's ever seen me do a Q&A, so she's very, very amazed and gassed about that. Also hosted a Q&A with Yusra Mardini. One of the sisters from whose true story is on Netflix, called The Swimmers. Basically, they escaped from Damascus and swam across the sea to Greece when their dinghy kind of overflowed. It's an amazing story. I interviewed her, and there's some other things that I hosted. So it's been a really good week for hosting, and it was my birthday. The girls forced me to enjoy it. I wasn't in the mood to enjoy it. They did. They took me to a hotel and a spa. That was amazing. And British Blacklist is 10 years.
Big up to the 10 years. Happy birthday all round.
Thank you.
That was a rundown.
I know, sorry, because we haven't been together and lots of stuff happened. So we got to wrap up. So we will do our Spotify playlist next time around. Guys, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. We're on all the social media platforms. We're on YouTube. Watch us every week, all the time. Share us, spread the word. We're your aunties, your favourite aunties. And we're also on Spotify. We've got a Spotify playlist called Your Aunties Could Never, and it's a good playlist of all our eclectic tunes. Join us next week as usual.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye guys.
Bye.